your emotions heading into your first NFL action?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this is just the start of a dream of mine, so excited to take that next step, be out there, compete at the highest level, and you know, my family's going to be there, so I'm super excited to have them a part of this journey with me, and yeah, I think that's really, I'm just stoked for the opportunity.
What have the coaches told you about what to expect, about how much playing time you have?
I think they're going to make more decisions in these next few hours and whatnot, but I'm definitely going to be playing out there, so just going to take advantage of my reps and my opportunity.
Abdul told us that some of the vets talked to you guys about what playing in preseason would be like that first game. What did you kind of glean from that?
Yeah, I mean, the main point was, football's football. Obviously, you're taking a next step, so it's a little bit more advanced than just little details and whatnot and schematics. But at the end of the day, it's the same game that you were playing when you were a kid. So just enjoy that. Compete. Don't leave any regrets out there on the field, and don't ever take this moment lightly. And there's no light that's too bright to play in.
How do you think you've grown since starting now?
I feel like I've grown a lot. Just my understanding of the game, my understanding of just this offense specifically, but I've been able to take big steps, and I'm feeling more and more confident each and every day in this offense, and kind of what they're asking of me to do. So I'm just happy to kind of have that process of when I make mistakes, of being able to fix it quickly, and I have great players around me, great leadership around me who helps develop me each and every day.
There's been 10-year vets who come in here and said it's a complicated offense to learn. So the guy going through it for the first time, what to you makes it feel complicated?
I mean, this is the only NFL offense I can really compare it to. So it's all that I know of at this moment. And, you hear people say that. But, I think that when you're kind of able to get the base, fundamentals of it down, then you're able to just obviously grow your knowledge and whatnot. But, there's been long nights of just studying and sitting in my room and just trying to get it down. But, I'm excited for the future.
Are there any situations, like in this preseason game coming up, are there any situations that you hope to find yourself in to get the experience playing in?
I mean, I hope I can get every situation, just to get those reps, be on that stage and do it at a high level. But, I'm just excited for this. I mean, this is just, a dream of mine since I was a kid.
Jaxson, Russ's deep ball is kind of famous, the moon ball for a height it gets. You're standing behind him or whatever, watching it. What do you think of that moon ball, and how is it compared to like your deep ball or other deep balls you've seen from quarterbacks?
I mean, every guy throws it differently. Obviously, Russ is, you could put him up there as one of the best deep ball throwers of all time. So it's definitely crazy to watch it when when you're standing behind and just watch the ball turn over and fall perfectly in guys' laps and whatnot. But that's what that's part of his game and what he's done at such a high level. So it's been good to just talk to him about that. Pick his mind on the kind of techniques that he uses and whatnot, but it's elite for sure.
Your first game action at Ole Miss, what do you recall?
Played against Troy. Troy was actually a really good team that year. It was competitive. It was back and forth, and it was kind of going into that game. And I didn't have a ton of reps in the offense. There's 3 other guys that I was competing with when I first got to Ole Miss. So there's a lot of learning stages that I got from that game. But I think anytime that you're just able to play the game that you love, you're having a blast out there on that field.
Will you have butterflies on Saturday?
Maybe when I run out. Once I get in between those lines, everything kind of just zones out for me, and I'm in my zone.
You said there's no light too bright to play in. Do you crave that? Like, does something come alive in you as a player when you're under the bright lights? Oh,
absolutely. I don't think that you can be an elite competitor if that's not your mindset, if that's not how you approach everything. And as a kid, you watch the stars on the biggest stages, and that's what people remember for forever. And I think that's always been something that I've looked up to, and want to make my own lane in that such.
Is there something to you about for the preseason? Like, you might play in these 3 preseason games and then not play for a month, 2 months, 3 months. That's kind of unique. Is there a sense of you have to maximize your preseason opportunities because you don't know when you're playing the regular season? I'm
just focused on being prepared. Obviously, I'm going to go out there on the field and compete at that, my highest level, and I'm going to play as hard as I can, and I'm going to do good things, and I'm going to make mistakes too, and I understand that. I'm not going to be perfect when I step out there on that field, but I think my mindset is just competing at the highest level, doing what I can to, make this offense operate at the highest level, and get these chances for the coaches to learn how I play the game, because obviously we're out in practice, we can't get tackled. It's a little different. So it'll be good to get these live action reps and earn that trust.
There'll be a quarterback on the other sideline who's obviously been through kind of being groomed by Dable and turned out pretty well, Josh Allen. Just curious, do you have a relationship with them, and have you been in touch with them at all since you got paired up with Dable? Yeah,
I talked to Josh like a few days after I got drafted, and he's been somebody who I've really looked up to, and since coming here, just watching a ton of his tape and how he was able to operate Coach Dave's system and whatnot. So it's going to be kind of a surreal feeling to be on the same field with him.
What's been his advice?
What is Josh's advice?
Yeah, to you about working with Dable.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just the quarterback. He talked a lot about leadership. That was kind of like his main thing, and then trying to be the best teammate for the guys around you, because as a quarterback you got to raise the standard of everybody. And obviously schematics. I think that what shows up on Coach Dave's record is him being able to coach many different quarterbacks who have different skill sets and kind of molding offenses around what they're good at. So kind of just hone in on the key details of Coach Dave's offense and really trust it. I think at times maybe quarterbacks will predetermine things and not really trust the system, but the special thing about Coach Dave's is he gives us a ton of freedom, so there's answers to everything that you can really think of.
Does the current depth chart, although it's unofficial, does it mean anything to you? And do you take any motivation from being listed as the third quarterback on the depth chart?
I mean, I don't look at it that way. I'm just coming to work every single day, just trying to compete. And you never know when your number's going to be called on. We have a great quarterback room, and any guy can go out there and go win games and play at an extremely high level, and they've all shown that. So we have a unique room with us being so close, and just the conversations that we have. Like at the end of the day, we come here and we just want to win as a team. So that's kind of been our motto.
Has DeVito given you any advice, your buddy?
Oh, absolutely. I think I've hit on this many times that Tommy's probably been the one when I first got here where I've kind of learned the most from, just because.
As far as your first preseason game.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's told me to go out there and have fun. He's kind of just shared like his experience when he was out there, and him being really successful when he was out there on the field. When his time came. So honestly, like when you come into these games, like you can hear a lot about the advice, but at the end of the day, it's just football. So you got to go out there and play your game, and the real good players are the ones who show up for it.
You talked about not being afraid to make mistakes. Does that kind of help you prepare for this game, that whatever happens, you're not going to worry about it because you already have that mindset of make a mistake, learn from it, keep going? Yeah,
I mean, I'm not scared. Like when I go out there, I'm gonna play the game that I know how to play, and the offense here, they don't give me like restrictions on what I can and can't do. So there's obviously going to be things where I'm learning. I'm learning. When I can do something, when I can't do something, and I think that if you're going to play scared as a quarterback, you shouldn't be out there.
Is there anything specifically that you want to prove that you can handle in your first action?
I don't feel like I need to go out there and think to myself like I need to prove this, I need to prove that. Like I want to kind of just be in my game. I want to be in my own space. I want to be able to encourage others, help raise the play of the guys around me, and I just want to win. So whatever that takes for me to do when I'm out there on the field, that's my mindset. It's not really about I'm going to prove this or prove that. Like, well, how am I going to put our team in the best situation to win?
Thoughts for your first NFL game, and I know it doesn't count, but you'll be on an NFL field for the first time.
Yeah, I'm excited for sure. Definitely a good opportunity for me to get my routine down, like coming into a football game. My last game was, 6 months ago, something like that. So it's cool to come out here, get a routine down, play football again. I'm excited.
What excites you the most, maybe?
It's football. Just want to play football, that's all.
What have you learned the most in your first 2 weeks at camp here?
I would definitely say just the detail of all the things that we're doing on the field. Obviously, college was detailed, but I feel like at the NFL, just a higher level of detail I got to be focused on, so I'll probably say that's the biggest difference.
Has it been a little more complicated in some ways than you expected, maybe?
No, nothing too complicated, just focusing on all the little details.
Have you asked any of the vets kind of like what to expect that first preseason game, kind of just get your mind ready, prepare a little bit?
Yeah, they all came in and talked to all the rookies, just telling them about their preseason experience, what they went through, things that they did to help them out. So we just took from them and try to apply it to our preseason.
That was this week?
Yeah.
Who was there talking to you?
Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Leak, Neighbors, Russell Wilson, they all came in and just talked to the young guys.
Disappointed Josh Allen that far?
It don't matter who's playing for me.
Do you have to, like, coaches worry about like showing too much in the preseason? Will you go out there and play your normal game, or do you like, hey, I might not want to show this move kind of thing and put it on film for the regular season?
No, I'm putting it all on film. I'm going out there. I'm playing. I'm doing what I do best. Also, I'm also doing what my coach asked me to do, but at the same time, just play my game.
You know, a lot of talk about your versatility. How much did you actually play like 3 technique in college, or if at all?
Yeah, I've been playing that since my freshman year. Just moving around all around the line, just over the center, over the guard, line up on the edge. I've been doing it all for a long time.
How much different is it when you're rushing those inside with your hand there versus when you're on the edge or even off the ball?
It's definitely different. Probably on the edge, you got more space to work with, obviously. Inside is more constricted, but at the same time, you just got to find different ways to win.
Build off that, you got to find different ways to win. It seems like speed would be a way you can win quite a bit, and on the inside it's less, you know, I think there's less opportunity for your speed on the inside. So what do you have to combat? Is that just you've got to go power on power at that point?
Yeah, you got speed, but you also got like quickness on the inside, you know, just misdirection. I got power too, so I like to mix it up.
What do you make of this offensive line since you're going against them every day?
We compete. I feel like it's iron sharp on iron. I feel like they get a bad rep sometimes. Whenever I see something online, it's always, the O-line this, O-line that. But I feel like for every bad clip they got a good one that people don't see it or people don't post. So I feel like they're going to be a strong point for us this year.
What makes you, from a player perspective, kind of counter, like, think that they're going to get a bad rep beyond just like what's your line?
That's just from what I see. But like I said, out here when we working, they have their plays, they make their plays, and they look good to me.
Something we've heard from a bunch of the leaders on the defense was like, you know, when we asked them about the pass rush, they're like, you know, hey, we haven't done anything yet. It's all on paper. How much is that the message that they're relaying to you as well?
Yeah, I feel like that's important. Obviously, you don't want to buy into all the hype, all the things that people are saying. So I feel like once we go out there and prove it, that's when we can say, all right, we're the best unit.
How much are you itching just for that first big hit, first sack? Because obviously you can't be able to hit guys that hard yet.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Just playing in the preseason, you get to like take guys to the ground, actually sack the quarterback. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I know your focus is on Buffalo, but next week you have joint practices with the Jets, and they have a rookie who was picked in the top 10 too, who was a right tackle who could go up against Armand Membu. Did you guys cross paths at all in the draft process? Or
No,
anything, or?
I don't think I crossed paths with him, but I do know Olu. He went to Penn State. I played with him, so I do look forward to seeing him for sure.
Did you guys have battles in the
Oh yeah,
practice?
for sure, absolutely.
What is that an iron sharpens iron situation?
Yeah, for sure. But we focus on Buffalo right now. We'll get there next week.
Yeah, we just want to talk to you before that.
Yeah.
He's not focused on both.
Yeah, I got you.
We'll take a couple more if y'all got him.
Who's been your favorite match you went against the line?
So I wouldn't say I have a favorite. It gets to a point where like we getting in practice, like they start to learn all your moves and stuff like that. So I feel like it's good for us to go against a new opponent this week.
What does that teach you? Like, if a player knows your moves so much and you're up against them every day, what do you do in response?
I feel like you can still work the moves that you use. It's really getting to a point where you're mastering your moves, even though they know, just getting to a point where, all right, you can do it without thinking.
What everybody's focused so much on what this front seven can do, what this D line can do. But what do you see behind you? Because like it feels like the Giants have a chance to have a pretty good secondary too, with Holland in here, Debo in here, both got paid, and then Dubin's a high pick, Banks a high pick. What do you see behind you? What do you expect the identity of that secondary to be?
Yeah, I can't see behind me, but I feel like those guys got paid for a reason. Whoever's here, they was picked for a reason. So I feel like they're gonna come in, they're gonna do what they're supposed to do.